programming updates.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all again. Some updates on the programming side of things at Frogman Hall. A few programs that are coming back have been part of our program brochure for the last few months, but have gone so well. The Brain Builders mental exercise program that helps with memory retention, avoid cognitive decline for seniors is going to have a summer session. One of the activities starts today at 1 p.m. We'll have follow-up sessions on 6-16 and 7-7. Given how well those are attended, anticipate that we'll have some in the fall as well. And those are free. Our partnership with the library is continuing to offer technology one-on-one for seniors. Seniors are able to bring their devices that they need to have worked on. If they are having trouble getting into certain accounts, librarians or their tech assistants will help them gain access, how to explore certain things, and hopefully have them have enhanced digital access.
Does that mean if you lost a password to something, you can't figure out how to find your passwords, they can help you out?
Depending on what it is, I don't know if I'd have them log into your Fidelity account for you, but maybe your Comcast or something.
Okay, that scares me. How do you know I have Fidelity?
Didn't until just now.
Totally. So, which mother's name?
It's a spelling that catches people off.
That program, the next one will be this coming Thursday, 6-6 at 11 a.m. Up at Frogman Hall. And it is free as well.
At Frothingham or at the library?
At Frogman Hall.
Okay, because there's something going on with the library at that too, I think.
They may be running a separate session, but they'll be coming to us at least for this program. We will be having a movie day on 6/18 at noon. The movie is To Be Determined. That is free as well. You can sign up by calling our folks at Frogman Hall to be added to the list. I believe the capacity is going to be about 20-25, and we'll include popcorn, things of that nature. The last update I have for you is that we wrapped up May as Mental Health Awareness Month. We offered a number of new well-being and mental health programs for seniors. Our mental health clinician that the town hired works with the police department, the fire department, and community services. Worked with my department to offer pet therapy sessions for free, meditation classes, music therapy, as well as another movie day as well. Those are free programs. We are hoping to bring them back as well, given how well attended they were. And everybody that was a facilitator involved in the program donated their time, which was really great to see. That is our programming update. If we have any cancellations to fitness programs due to cancellations or travel plans, we'll make sure that we put it in the coordinator as well. But at this point, we don't. We should have a full summer slate of fitness programs.
Okay, any questions? Overview?
Yeah, so up next, I wanted to provide just a general overview. I had one print out, but with the the vote coming up for the town's override for the budget, and irregardless of that too, it's always good to point out the town's financial assistance opportunities, particularly for the seniors that are fixed incomes. So some of the stuff is not necessarily my purview, but Tracy Levine, the Deputy Director for Financial Assistance and Veteran Services, wasn't able to make it today, so I'll do my best rendition. One of the most exciting products from the tumultuous budget season we've had is the town came together and several department heads built a unified financial resource page for everybody in town. If you're a veteran, if you're a senior, somebody who might be on disability or have fixed income. This new webpage under the Residents tab on the Town of Easton website identifies exemptions for local taxpayers that are veterans or seniors, highlights specific information about the tax work-off program for seniors and veterans, how to access it, what the benefits of the program are, as well as certain income thresholds. The webpage also highlights Massachusetts tax credits, who qualifies for it for each tax year, tax credits that are provided, and then it also finally some veteran-specific programs such as Easton's Server Fund, how disability compensation claims are provided under the town's veteran discretionary fund, which is something that's unique to Easton. From there, it goes into things that are probably a little bit better known by the Council on Aging. items like fuel assistance, access to healthcare, a little known program, the town's septic betterment program, which is essentially a low interest loan if you ever need to repair or replace your septic system. Septic systems are always destined to fail. They all sort of have their own expiration date. The town, instead of having you go out and try to secure your own independent loan depending on your credit score, it uses the town's bond rating or independent credit score through a partnership to get a lower interest rate for folks.
Is that just for individual homes, or is that something that would expand into condominiums that would be group? You know, where the whole complex would be responsible. Sometimes they have to spread things out and, over years for upgrades and so on. So is that eligible for them also, or just individual homes?
So the details I have in front of me suggest that it is for independent homes, but I think if somebody ever had a question about that, they could reach out. I would imagine that if the condominium is HOA managed or is, depending on how its tax filing is listed, it might fall under a different type of program. I think this is targeted for residents, but I think your point's well taken that condominium owners are also residents.
If you own a condominium, you're a resident.
Yeah.
And you own, if there's 100 units and there's 5 septic systems, you own 1% of each one of those systems.
Yeah.
You know, because you're paying for it monthly. So that's why I was just curious if that was.
The shared septic systems.
Yeah, if something goes wrong in I'm a trustee of a condominium complex, and our septic system is getting old. So we are putting off repaving the driveway until the septic system goes, so we don't have to do the driveway, then dig it up and do it again. So with that, if we had to replace the system, everybody there is responsible to share it, and it can be done over 10 years. We can take out loans and so on and pay it off. So I didn't know if that was something that they would be eligible for.
Yeah, that's not something that's necessarily publicized. I would imagine a phone call to the Board of Health, they could probably give you some more specific guidance. If it's shared septic systems, I know from working with seniors in the past that condominiums have had them do grouped lump loans that are sort of subdivided out,
Right.
so that may qualify in a different or more unique way that's not posted to the general population.
There's a lot of condo complexes in Easton.
Yep.
A lot of them.
There are, this septic system thing, it's not just for the elderly, it's for anybody in town.
It is for everybody, yep.
Okay.
Yes, through the Community Septic Management Program offered by the state, so Easton opted into the state program to benefit residents. And that is a Board of Health initiative, so if you have any questions, I can get folks in touch with them. And then last but not least, just to round this out, food insecurity resources. Most folks are familiar with the food pantry. There's another food pantry at the St. Vincent de Paul Society, as well as my brother's keeper, and then there are a few others that are listed as well as the SNAP program, which the town has our Deputy Director of Financial Assistance that can help people with applications that might be of need. From a policy standpoint, just to put a bow on this, the town has worked this year to reconfigure their income thresholds for their tax work-off program as well.
Mhm.
In past years, the income level was lower, which would be more restrictive for folks who might be earning more money in the last few years. I think in the past we had talked about updates, cost of living adjustments for different people's needs based on where the world's going right now economically. So those income levels have gone up to I believe 72,000 for an independent person, and then 83,000 for a household of 2 people. And then for the tax work-off program, you can always be proxy if you wanted to, in terms of working for somebody who might be disabled or unable to come in for regular business hours. So that was a lot of information, but that is an overview of the broader financial assistance that Easton has to offer.
Could you make a copy of that for me? Because some of the people down to the donut shop, the seniors down there, would be interested.
Gene, tell you what, you even have this one.
As when we meet, there's a bunch of seniors down
That was easy.
there. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
I was gonna put it up to the highest bidder, but nobody wanted to jump this in.
That's all on I saw most of that on the town website, that's on
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, so if you
So I was
go
looking for something and came across that.
to the Town of Easton website under residents, I think a few bars down, it has
Yeah.
financial assistance and resources. It's a very, very comprehensive page, but it does a good job of explaining it concisely and hopefully in a way that most people who aren't necessarily in the profession can understand.
Any other questions? Ballot reminder.
Excellent. This will be relatively quick.
I hope.
Yeah, to vote. So the town has ballot initiative on 6-10 hour aims from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. On our side of things, we have transportation offerings. We are providing transportation during business hours for folks who may need a ride. All you need to do is call Frog and Paul to set up. The deadline to register is noon this coming Friday, 6/6. After that, it'll be sort of case by case basis around other medical rides we already have scheduled. That's it.
The early voting on Saturday was well attended, I think, at least.
It
I
was.
It
there
was,
for a
because
while.
I was there.
Yeah.
And when I was there was not a crowd, but a steady
Steady stream.
steady
The
flow of people.
parking lot was full.
Board positions and terms.
Yeah, so this is an annual agenda item that we bring up. So typically our chair and vice chair, who's Donna, that's not here today, we should put them up to if anybody else wants to step in and fill that role, as well as reminders about terms. So Matt and Nancy, I believe I emailed you separately. Your terms are set to expire on the middle of this month, I think, maybe 6/12. So just you took over somebody else's terms. That's
Yeah.
a bit odd.
No, I know. I
Excellent.
know how that works.
So
I'll fill in.
you likely received some information from the clerk's office on how to renew. The remainder of the group is either next June or the following June, depending on when you cycle into the board.
I know I reapplied, so
And so did
what
I.
happens, I don't know. If I don't make it, have a good summer. You know, but you never know if you're gonna get reapplied or not, so.
I don't think that there are that many people clamoring to become a part.
No, but they
People clamoring
did
for
get the
anything.
standard line that I'd be told if it was, if other people applied for the position.
Well, if you need any assistance, I'm always here to help. So with that, Jim, I don't know if you would like to.
As far as the chair
discuss
position,
board.
I volunteered for it because you didn't want to do it any longer. I will give it up or I will keep it. If somebody else wants it, take it. If not, I'll stay on. It's that easy.
I can't guarantee to be here every single time because of my grandchildren, so.
And I've lived in the town 25 years, but I have to be honest, I really don't know what goes on in the town because I'm gone a lot. But if nobody else wants it, I will stay on.
I'll make a motion for Jim to stay on.
Well, last year, when you said, anybody take it, please, someone, I felt guilty, so I said, okay.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not. It's just, if somebody else has more
The
ideas
good
than I
thing
do,
is
so
that
on.
you get emails. This is what I'm thinking, do you have anything else to add to the agenda, which reminds you that you have a meeting coming up. When you don't get those emails, sometimes the mind just doesn't register.
With that being said, if anybody has ideas, sometimes we have speakers here for someone they'd like to see here. Email, let me know. Joe and I can get together. We can just, and possibly, because I don't come up with a lot of ideas of who we may need. You may see something else going on in the town that I have missed that maybe we need a little update on. And please feel free to email me and let me know with the suggestion. We can probably get it in. And get the rest of the board of Council on Aging up to date with what's going on. Any ideas, let me know.
And whereas we don't have the vice chairman here, I'll volunteer for that if, I don't think we can nominate anybody that's not here. Do you wanna wait unless anybody else
Can
would
if
care
they
for
asked
it?
to.
I've been advice for so long, so I don't wanna do it again.
I'm fine with that.
think most
Should
boards
we
usually wait until the person has the opportunity to either say they
Yes.
firmly want to.
Alright, so we'll hold off on the vice till September 8th.
Did we have a unanimous vote for Jim, just so I have?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I lose.
Alright, so we'll wait for vice chair. Perfect.
And the town, it's a 3-year term, correct?
For chair?
No, just to be a member. I know chair goes year to year.
Yeah, it is 3.
That's year, so I'm still here.
Depends which seat you take. You did bring up a good point too, it's just a good reminder for everybody this time of year. The agenda that we set, usually I will go to Jim with a few things that we tend to discuss at each meeting or things that are coming up, at least some that might be staff notes. But alternatively, you are able to email and say, hey, I heard about XYZ project going around town. Would Joe be able to speak to it, or could we try to get some information for the board from a different professional staff members? Whatever you all want to talk about as well, just a liaison for the town for you all.
The one thing I would like to see is like Stonehill has a book group that meets once a week that a friend of mine is a part of, but beyond that, does Stonehill do any kind of, similar to what Bridgewater does with the senior college, does Stonehill do any of that kind of stuff? They used to years ago, and I don't know if it's not in there. I don't know, that would be something that maybe we could prod them to.
Find out what they're doing for the community
Yeah,
and what more would they offer for the community. I think that's a good idea.
I'm fairly close with their
And
gerontology
they're here tax-free, right? The college,
department.
they should be doing something helping us. They
Yeah.
charge enough for people to go there.
So I'm pretty close with their gerontology department head. They typically run 3 or 4 free programs a year with some of their students as well. It's like an intergenerational type of activity. I believe last year they did a music bingo that we eventually turned into more of a full-time regular program. I think they did a trivia program, and then they also did, might have been art or like a craft type of program for seniors. I think we did that starting my second year here, so at least 2 years. This year I think that their department might be turning over, so that's one reason it's been a little bit quieter.
no, I was talking more in terms of like continuing courses that would be interesting and would benefit the senior population in town.
Yeah, I know Bridgewater does it because it's a state university.
Yeah.
I think all the state universities
Yeah.
offer that.
Is Bridgewater coming back here or not?
They may not be. They
They were not happy with the audio visual problem.
Yeah, I don't think we can really meet their needs full time. It sounds like the interactions they have with the larger departments, such as Plymouth and Bridgewater as well. There might be another department in there too, I'm not thinking of. We don't have the staff to just say, this person, whenever Bridgewater State is here, can lead what they're doing to go and provide AV technical support. And then on top of that, when the person is able to step away, the building is 140 years old. The outlets do not work as nicely hidden perfectly.
In Bridgewater though, a lot of those Bridgewater senior classes are at the library, at the public library. And that maybe, if Rothingham can't do it, maybe Amesbury Library could.
I suggested an alternative to them that I had not heard back from. I offered to purchase a standard projector opposed to using the television. The television HDMI port, and this is getting a little bit in the weeds, is really the main problem. The DPW comes by, they repair it at least once a month, once every other month if we're lucky. I think it would be beneficial for everybody if we just used a standalone projector that went against the wall that we know has a more reliable port. So it's easier for the senior teachers to use, and we're not dependent on the technology of a 140-year-old building that's sort of retrofitted.
Yeah.
I haven't heard back from them if they've made a final decision. I think they said they get back to me in June. I sincerely hope they come back. At the same time, if they don't, I get it.
I mean, even here, I don't know what the audio visual situation is in this building, but I think it behooves us to make sure that that program continues in Easton, because I enjoy taking those
I did
classes.
too.
And it's fine to drive to Bridgewater or to Plymouth, or Plymouth is really fantastic. Have you been to that place?
No, to me,
It's-
that's a hike.
Yeah, it's really nice. But anything that we can do to get them here, bring them, keep them here.
Yeah.
Were those daytime classes or were they night classes?
They're all during the day.
They,
Okay, I was gonna say, Plymouth's a long ride at night.
They're all during the day.
That set of classes is actually why we are here, because they operate usually during the times that we would otherwise meet up at Frolic Hall. They have a wide block of time.
Yeah, but there aren't any more going on, are there?
We
There
just
was
blocked
still?
this facility just
Oh,
for the time that they anticipated needing.
I see.
So we'll see if they come back and try to offer alternatives to them so they can stay in Easton.
Mhm.
Like, we can't make them come.
Yeah.
Can we approach them?
Sorry.
Can you approach them?
I had a phone call with them, I believe about 2.5 weeks ago, with the program director. So, see what they say.
every time I filled out the valuation, I said, please keep them in Easton, so.
And that was the Bridgewater School, right?
Yeah, no, I went to I went here I took classes here.
I guess that's everything on that, so now, minutes from the last meeting? Everything looks right to me. Anybody have any questions on
I
it?
just, that 175 participants in morning pickleball, was that a program run by Recreation, or is that just the amount of people who were down there playing? 'Cause
No, it's an organized program by Health and Community Services at the pickleball courts. That is one, I know we sort of always say, like, I have a council on aging portion of my job, I have a recreation portion of my job, but really those two things intersect with this particular program. It is organized, there's reserved courts, we have a program facilitator that we work with to run the actual activity.
Cause I don't know if you've seen it, cause you live across the street.
Yeah.
The amount of cars that are parked in that parking lot, it's unbelievable, especially, I'd hate to see what it looked like today.
Well, there was quite a few
Yeah.
this morning when I went down
Yeah,
by 8
they're
o'clock.
there all the time. I can remember when they were using the tennis courts, and I was working at the thrift store, they stored their stuff there, and it was like, they'd get 20, 25 people. The 2 courts, there's a lot of people just sitting around, but I can't imagine what it's like with 6.
They use the tennis courts for pickleball too.
Oh,
They lower
yeah,
the
but
nets.
Does the town have block times for this? So,
From,
does the town offer lessons?
we do, yep.
What's that one that's down on 138? It's
That's a private club.
Is that a private club?
I believe it is. Yeah,
Okay.
down near where the driving range used to be, the golf driving range used to be.
no.
In that
No,
vicinity, but it's,
no.
it's
No,
before
it's-
that.
It's almost across from the apartments. There was like a contract.
Well, you got Doyle's Pub, and then you have, I forget what else it is, but there's a building down in the back.
Right, so
That's
that's
a
a
pickleball court.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's down further on 130.
I think that's a private.
Yeah.
Private club.
I saw the sign, pickleball.
I mean, why pay for that when you can go up there?
Does that connect to almost Pine Street? Looks like it's way in there.
Yeah, it could. But, I'm surprised they don't have a big 300th anniversary pickleball tournament or something.
Yeah, I thought that was associated with the town.
Carefully, we may end up chairman of that.
No, I don't play, so my knees hurt just walking, so I can't imagine getting out there.
There's a lot of injuries because of it. with the seniors.
You know, it seems that, like anything else in Easton, it seems, so they're gonna be working on something on 123 toward Brockton, right? Belmont Street?
Belmont Street.
And then there's that fire station on Main Street, there's that. And then
there's-
they're gonna start the Elm Street thing, right?
Yeah, right
And
in
then
front of
something
my
in
house.
front of your house.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, from my house to the center of town, I'm gonna have to drive through 3 towns to get to it.
Well, I'm gonna have to get in the middle of it there. I won't be able to get out.
Yeah, that's what I mean, everything, it's always all at the same time instead of staggered. Because just that traffic light at Union Street, which is a blessing, but that took, what, a year? Good solid year, if not more.
Well, they told us that it could be anywhere between now and the end of the year is when they're gonna start up by us. Both sides of the street.
I lived on Founder Street when they did the sewer. That was not,
Now, these is to put sidewalks in plus a bike.
How much of your front
Like
yard are you losing?
Pardon?
How much of your front yard are you losing?
About 5 feet. They've already got money because they're leasing it. But if there's any damage to the water mains or anything coming from the house, I don't know whether we're responsible or they are.
Oh, good question.
Anything else on
It'll be a mess.
anything else on the minutes? No. Motion to approve?
Move to approve the minutes.
Everybody,
Haven't read all at once. We'll get
so
rid of
4
it.
hands go up at once.
Some credits and ANC with Chris is second. I'll assume that's unanimous, given.
Staff notes.
Staff notes, the only notes I have in my end are our closure dates for Frog and Hall, just a friendly reminder. 6/19, 7/4, and then 9/1 for the Labor Day closures. So just be mindful of those, otherwise we will be gladly opening our summer.
What is 6/19?
6/19 is the town holiday, Juneteenth. Well,
Juneteenth.
national holiday, town of
Yeah,
June.
Juneteenth.
Yep.
I haven't gotten that one down pat yet, it's too new for me.
I have a question. The parade is on the 14th, is that right? June 14th?
Tricentennial?
Yeah.
No, that is the Flag Day celebration. The parade, I believe, is the weekend after the 4th of July.
Oh, okay, so it's in July, alright, that's good.
Yeah, that on 6/14 is Flag Day event, community picnic. It will have bands and a local DJ, and then they'll do fireworks in the evening.
Where is this?
Oliver Ames.
Where they gonna put all the cars?
we're gonna have the fireworks based on artificial turf on the football field, so they can melt that and have to go more money to,
I think so.
we can put it past them. No, it sounds like it's gonna be a good time. Where is the parade route going to be? I know they've changed it a few times.
I don't really answer that. I can find out. for you.
Yeah,
Well, I believe it goes down Center Street though at some point.
The DPW, they setting up a DPW to start there, that's what I thought.
It sounds accurate. I'm not really sure though. That would be a question go towards town.
Yeah, no, I just was wondering if anybody had heard, because I know that they had talked at one point, it was gonna possibly, the last time it started at Fernandez, across from Hilliard's, that into their area.
But then they've had it from Purchase Street, down by the monument, they've had parades start from.
Yeah, that was
They go
Memorial,
up Center
that
Street.
was Memorial and Veterans Day, so,
Oh, okay.
but this is, for the big parade,
Oh, the tricentennial thing.
yeah.
Are we doing anything for that no? Okay.
I don't know if the committee got back to no.
Just asking.
It was discussed a little bit, nothing was.
Okay.
And so the pool is up in the air until after the vote? Anything else on in terms of the recreation department?
So the total financial impact for the area that I oversee would be, in the instance of no override, we would have to cover a portion of staff salary from fees. We would probably have to do some shuffling of grant funding from the state we'd be a little bit more reliant on it for some of our other operational expenses, more so than we already are. Those are sort of the broad strokes. That was a little bit challenging because we are, it's like trying to get blood from a stone. We're so lean funded already that there's not a ton to give besides those. Not that they're not impactful, but.
Anything else on staff notes? Any questions? Member notes? Yes.
Being closed on June, July, and August, no meeting.
Right, correct. Correct, next meeting will be, I believe, September 8th. And I know last year in September and October, we ran into a thing with the Jewish high holidays where one of them fell on that and one of our members could make it. That will not happen this year. The Jewish high holidays are on.
They're later.
They're later in the month. Actually, one of them is the second, which is a Thursday. It's the 2nd of October. Thursday. Oh, we're meeting on August. So it's not going to affect us. Well, confuse you, yes.
I could always change it, but I think your schedule is most.
I usually work Wednesdays and Thursdays, so Thursday was very tough for me. I had to take a day off. Only working well, I said earlier, I'm semi-retired and I have less free time now than I had when I was working full time. Haven't figured that out yet. More stress too.
It takes a good year.
I've been semi-retired almost 4.
Oh, okay.
And every year it's like getting busier and busier.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have a lot of time for golfing and fishing and no. Nope, that hasn't happened. Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So second.
I'll see everybody September 8th. Have a wonderful summer,
You too.
safe and happy.